Hey everybody, this is going to be my review for the new Mad Max film, Mad Max Fury Road. I have been a long-time Mad Max fan and have seen every one of the movies. I even saw Road Warrior in the theater when I was about 6 or 7 years old. So that should tell you something. Road Warrior, Thunderdome, and then Mad Max in the order of the films that I actually liked. I wasn't a big fan of Mad Max itself, though I did see Mad Max after I saw Road Warrior. And I really don't think that it enhanced the story. It seemed like Mad Max itself was its own story, and then I think that they just saw the success that that had, or that that story had potential, and moved into Road Warrior, and then Road Warrior and Thunderdome are sort of like, the original. I see it as Road Warrior and then the sequel Thunderdome. I don't really count Mad Max as part of that because it doesn't really have the same flow to it. But anyway, so being a Mad Max fan, I decided I was going to go all out. I ordered the tickets online. The theater in my area had special, like, enhanced seating where they had these seats that, like, move and shake and vibrate along with what's going on the screen to enhance the experience. And I saw it in 3D. So first, let me say before I get into the film, don't waste your money on either of these. The chair was more distracting than an enhancement. And the movie itself, while there were plenty of parts of it were pretty and definitely kept your eyes focused on the screen, wasn't enhanced, really wasn't enhanced with the 3D. The only film that I've ever seen that was worthy of the 3D effect, beyond Friday the 13th Part 3 in Super 3D, which really was just, it's cheesy horror back in the 80s, and it's a slasher film, so at the time it was great, but if you watch it now, the effects are just horrible. But still, being a Friday the 13th fan, I'm going to watch it. But the only film that I saw at 3D actually enhanced was Avatar. That movie was made to be seen in 3D. Other than that, I've seen a lot of 3D films in the last, I'd say, 5 to 7 years, and I can't think of more than one, possibly two, where 3D was worth the investment. So if you do go see this film, and you want the 3D experience, hey, go for it. But my personal opinion is, don't waste your money on the 3D. The effects in the film, and just the overall play of the film, there was no real, you didn't really get anything from it. So beyond that. So what I have to say about the film is, I feel that this film will be a classic to be added to the Mad Max franchise. I really do. It definitely had the Mad Max feel to it. I feel that it is the modern day extension of the Mad Max universe. I think that within the first, I'd say, 10, 15 minutes of the film, I said to myself, yeah, this is definitely going to be something that people are going to want to own. They're going to want to see, and they're going to want to own. Is this the kind of film that you're going to want to see over and over and over again? I don't think that the plot of the story is really something that you're going to have to go back, oh, I missed this part, oh, what was happening here? I think it's very straightforward. It's definitely an action movie. There's constantly stuff going up. There's explosions. The entire film is pretty much a chase scene. So, the beginning of the film leads you into Max. It starts off coming into Max, and then it shows Max being captured, and then from that point, there's basically not a montage, but a series of events that happens with Max, and then just at, say, maybe 5 minutes of that, and then it gets into the rest of the film, and that's when Charlize Theron's character is introduced, and then it moves forward. So I don't think this is the kind of film that you're going to want to see multiple times because you've missed something, or the plot was confusing, or there's little nuances that you didn't pick up. I do think that if you enjoy visually stimulating films, you'll go see it multiple times because there's, like I said, it's just constant action. There's chases and explosions and gunshots, and there's some drama, and there's some character development and interaction, but the majority of it is exactly what you think it would be. It's a post-apocalyptic, just explosions and chases, and it's really cool, and it definitely keeps the Mad Max world alive with the appearance of the garb and the vehicles and the weapons and the sand, because it takes place in the desert, and just the language. They try to stay true a little bit with the language because there are certain scenes where things are said, and it feels like it's a nod to the series, or they're trying to maintain the series. So overall, I think it was definitely worth seeing. there's really, because of the type of the film it is, I can't really get into a deeper review. Because literally, like I said, it's action. It's constantly going on. It's not like there's a huge plot that you really need to sink your teeth into, and there might be things you need to keep your eyes open for. The plot is that, there's this long car chase scene. That's the most vague and direct review of the film that I can give. As far as the acting goes, I think that Charlize Theron did an excellent job, and I think that Tom Hardy as Max, he's stoic. Unlike Mel Gibson's Max, where Max tend to be a lot more verbal. I know it sounds kind of weird if you've ever seen the Mad Max films to say that Max was verbal, but there was a lot more being communicated through his character. The movie was, an exploration of the character of Max, where in this one, Max is part of the film. I would say by the way that the film was played out and the way that it was recorded, that Max is actually not the primary character. Charlize Theron's character was the primary character. She tended to be more the centralized focus of the film, and that's okay. One of the things that I had seen before going into the movie was something that crazy cats. Something that I had seen online, and at first when I had seen it, it irritated the shit out of me. And then after reviewing it, it irritated me for a completely different reason. There is this review going around by some guys that are calling themselves men's rights activists that are basically bitching about how this film is just basically feminist propaganda. And they're like, well, Charlize Theron's character they're making her out to be as strong as a man, and basically the shit they say is just fucking stupid. I would say, if anything, that their men's rights activism isn't. It's just a bunch of fucking douchebags that are hiding behind the men's rights activist fucking name and saying a bunch of dumb shit so that everybody out there can go, oh, there you go, it's the stupid fucking neck-bearded, fedora-wearing, basement living mouth breathers, and they're hating on women. So I really think that they're fucking retarded for saying that. I think that her character was excellent. She was strong. She was resourceful. She was fierce. She didn't back down. She was not weak. And it wasn't like they made her out to be a man with a vagina. She was a woman, and she had motivations for what she was doing. Her character wasn't just this. She wasn't like, set of muscles with boobs. That wasn't what she was. Her character was motivated for a reason, and her whole involvement in this film was exactly that, trying to achieve that reason, which you will see if you do go see the film. I think that the relationship between Max and Furiosa, I believe that's her name, the character that Charlize Theron plays, because of the events that happen in the film, I think that that would give credence to the way that their relationship developed. Because if you just look at it, if you just remove the circumstance that they're both in, and you just look at the way that they interact, it seems a little bit fake or contrived. But you have to consider the fact that this is a very extreme situation that they're both in, and so it was a matter of, well, this is necessity. We need to do these things. And so therefore, and that moved the relationship between them forward. Overall, I thought it was definitely worth seeing. Is it going to win any Oscars? No, it's not going to win any Oscars. But these kinds of films they don't win Oscars. People don't go to see these films because they want to be impressed with the depth of character for the actors. They go to see these movies because they want to see stuff blow up. And I would say that probably my experience would have been better had I not invested in the 3D glasses and the chair, thinking that it was really going to enhance it, and that when the chair rocked and vibrated when things were exploding on the screen, that it would be like I was there. But no, it really wasn't. Just to give you an idea, like, it starts off where there's a scene where in the very beginning where Max gets into his car, and then he takes off, and that's when the chair really starts going. And I did not feel like, oh, I'm riding with Max. Instead, I'm like, oh crap. So I was the chair trying to enhance the experience was more like my attention kept getting pulled away in little bits and pieces because I was dealing with this, So yeah, overall, definitely worth seeing. I think think that if you are a Mad Max fan, you will not be disappointed. I think that if anything else, you should definitely go just for the visual aspects. Now, I'm not talking about world-ending, life-altering effects, but it was pretty. There was a lot of different pretty stuff to look at. Even in the action sequences and even in the destruction, there was still an aspect of visual. It appealed visually. You know, it was pretty. The explosions, some of the explosions were pretty. The dust storm that they go into. If you've seen the trailer with the big dust wave that's coming at them, the sandstorm, being inside that and the lightning flashes and stuff, that was really cool. So yeah, I went through it. It went by relatively quickly. I did not feel like it dragged. I did not feel like I was sitting there having to trudge through this film. It definitely kept you engaged because the action was just constant. There were things going on, and there were breaks in the action for character interaction and other points and helping to move the plot forward. You know, I don't think that anything was wasted in terms of the flow of the film. So overall, you should definitely check it out. I think that you'll enjoy it. You should go in with nothing more than waiting to see what the new version of Mad Max is about. That's the best advice that I can give. Don't go in expecting Mad Max from the 80s, because you're not going to get that. And don't go in expecting the world's greatest thing, because you're not going to get that. But if you just go in saying with the understanding this is the Mad Max universe, and these are elements that exist in the Mad Max universe, and then wait to see how it plays out, you won't be disappointed. So that's my review for the film. I hope it helped. I hope it gave you some information. And that's pretty much it. All right. So I guess I'll talk to you all later.